Hello, good morning my dear students. Welcome to our Gyan Jyoti online classes. So today we will discuss or learn about the sixth chapter of our history department, and the chapter name is what? The Great Uprising of 1857. Listen to the chapter carefully, that the chapter name is the Great Uprising of 1857. In another way you can say that, or you can call the Great Uprising of 1857 as Sepoy Mutiny. What? Sepoy Mutiny. The question is why was the Great Uprising of 1857? Uprising means you can say one type of revolution. Okay. So the Great Uprising of 1857 named as Sepoy Mutiny because under the leadership of the Indian sepoys who were worked under the British government. Okay, they were started revolution, or you can say they were started against revolution, or one type of war or freedom struggle you can say, okay, against the British power. That's why what the sepoy or the Indian sepoy played an important role in Great Uprising in the revolt of the period of 1857. That's why you can say the Great Uprising of 1857 as Sepoy Mutiny. Okay, and you can say also that this was the first freedom struggle of India, which was started by the Indian sepoy. Got it? After that, it broke out in India and nearly swept away the British rule. You can say what was the main aim, or what was the ambition of this revolution, this revolt, to what? To throw out the British government from India. Okay, that's why the soldiers, the sepoys, Indian sepoys, okay, they were took the leadership to swept away the British government from India. Got it? So in this chapter we'll discuss about the reasons behind what the Great Uprising of 1857. Some reasons were there. Okay, they were nearly responsible for the type of revolution which was occurred in India during 1857. Okay, so let's discuss about the regions of Sepoy Mutiny. Regions were divided into four categories. What? The first one is social cause, then religious cause, after that economic cause, and immediate cause. Okay, these were the, you can say, four kind of reasons which were behind the Great Uprising of 1857, or you can say which were responsible for what? Sepoy Mutiny. Okay, so let's discuss about social cause. So during the British rule, okay, so there was a gap between Indian people, the rich Indian people as well as the poor Indian people. Okay, the Britishers appointed the rich Indian people or provided many privileges, facilities to them, and they were also appointed them and jamindars and administrative officers, and they took the leadership, or they took the responsibility of collecting taxes from the Indian farmers. Okay, so this type of social inequality created a huge difference among the Indians and the Indians people who were paid the taxes. You can say the poorer class people of Indian society, or you can say weaker section of the society. Okay, they were started revolution against the Britishers, and they were also what supported to the sepoys who were took the leadership of the revolt in India. Okay, so this type of social inequality among Indian people arose feeling a type of feeling like nationalism, okay, and fraternity. Okay, this type of what ideas were created among the Indian people against the British rule. That's why the Indian people supported to what? Sepoys or Indian sepoys. After that, religious cause. Under the British government, what? Christian missionaries were, you can say, occupied Indian societies. Okay, rapidly the Christian missionaries who were traveled India under the leadership of British government, they were tried to spread their religion over Indian society. Okay, they were established many schools, colleges, churches, and tried to convert Indian people to Christian religion. Okay, that's why the educationalists of Indian society, okay, they find out the ambition of Christian missionaries, that the prime ambition of Christian missionary were what converted the Hindu, Muslim, and other religious people to Christian religion. That's why the Indian reformers, or you can say the educationalists, they were start against the British government as well as Christian missionaries, okay, and prevent the Christian religion in Indian society, which were promoted by the Christian missionaries towards the religious institution as well as educational institution. Got it? After that, the economic cause. Yeah, the economic cause directly you can say related to social cause, because the social inequality created a huge, you can say, gap between the Indian people, the rich Indian as well as poor Indian class people. Okay, and the rich Indian people who were appointed by the Britishers, you can say, the post of zamindars as administrative officers. Okay, they were exploited the poor Indian class people. Okay, and the poor Indian class people like peasants, farmers, small businessmen, small artisans, okay, they had to pay taxes to British government through the Indian rich people. Got it? So only the lower class people had to pay the taxes, and this created the economic burden over the Indian people. That's why they were supported to the sepoy who were leading the uprising of 1857. Okay, after that, what was the immediate cause? Okay, this was an important, you can say, key reason for the great uprising of 87 or the revolt of 1857. So during 1857 in British army, okay, the British government promoted a new rifle named Enfield rifle. Okay, in that Enfield rifle, the cartridge was made by a mix of, you can say, the fat of cow and the fat of pig. Okay, and India, we have already know that there are Hindus and Muslim people are in majority. Okay, in that time also our India, after the independence, after 1957, Indian partition was made of in religious, you can say, issue, and Pakistan was created. But in the beginning of 1857, the Hindus and Muslims were lived in India. They had the unity among the community. Okay, that's why many Hindus and Muslim soldiers, they were worked under British government, worked under British administration. Okay, and a new, you can say, a new rifle was introduced among the soldiers. That rifle name was Enfield rifle, and the cartridge was made by cow fat as well as pig fat. Okay, and it was compulsory to, you can say, hook up the cartridge through the mouth. Okay, that's why you can say, we are the Hindu people, that we are worship cow as our mother, as well as the Muslim people, they are hated the pig. Okay, that's why it was a major issue for the Indian soldiers to, you can say, use that Enfield rifle, and they were against the Enfield rifle. But the British are forced to Indian soldiers, Indian sepoys to use the Enfield rifle. That's why for religious issue, and this was the immediate cause. That's why the sepoys were made anger against the British government, and rapidly the sepoys were made unity among them, and they were started the uprising of 1857 against the colonial rule, against the British rule. So this is all about, these are all about what? The reasons, that social cause, religious factors, economic causes and immediate causes. These were the important, or you can say key, key reasons behind the great revolution or the first freedom struggle of our India. Got it? So these are all about the key factors which played their role in the great uprising of 1857. Okay. After that, one of the most important cause among what this cause, the fight was the political cause. Okay. Political cause. Where the, you can say, where the political issues were there. Okay. Like what? The British government disrespecting the Bahadur Shah, you can say the Mughal emperor. Okay, after that, Lord Dalhousie's policies of lapse and annexation of princely states. Okay, this type of activities where you can say create angerness among the sepoys of India. The first one is disrespecting Bahadur Shah. So the British hit Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar, his name was stuck of the coins. He was under pressure for vacating the Red Fort. The Britishers pressurized Bahadur Shah to left the, you can say, to left the Red Fort. Okay. After that, Bahadur Shah Jafar and his family left the Red Fort under, you can say, forced by British government. Okay, this created, you can say, created angerness among the Indian people. Okay, then Lord Dalhousie's policy of lapse and annexation of princely states. So the British started annexing kingdoms even of those friendly Indian rulers who had been their supporters. After that, the Britishers, they were, you can say, they were annexed Indian territory, or they were started annexed Indian territory. Okay, the princely state or the states who were supported to the British government. Okay, the Britishers also attacked over of that states. Okay. Then the British came to pursue a policy of grabbing their native states. They applied doctrine of lapse. Okay, Lord Dalhousie, you can say, applied the doctrine of lapse. Okay, under the doctrine of lapse, what the Britishers even more after, you can say, Lord Dalhousie implemented or executed doctrine of lapse, and under the policies of doctrine of lapse, many princely states, okay, they were under British government. Got it? Then the annexation embittered the rulers of these states. The British also stopped payment of pension to Nana Sahib. Nana Sahib, the Britishers also stopped the pension which was provided to Nana Sahib, and under the you can say under the policy of doctrine of lapse, okay, the British annexed Satara in 1848 and Nagpur and Jhansi in 1854. Satara in 1848, Nagpur and Jhansi 1852. Sorry, not 52. It was 54. So, by the policy of doctrine of lapse, which was implemented or introduced by Lord Dalhousie, the Viceroy of India, the Britishers were able to enact what? Satara in 1845, after the Nagpur and Jhansi in 1854, the major princely state, and also the Britishers stopped the pension which was provided to Nana Sahib. Okay, the displacement of the rulers led to withdrawal of the rulers' patronage to many religious preachers, pandits, and Maulvis. They found their entire future threatened. They played an important, you can say, they played an in spreading hatred against the British rule. Okay, they were also annexed all then impact of annexion of oath that the many suffer lodges in consequences, or you can say result of the annexations in 3,000 of nobles, gentlemen and officials together with their retainers. After they were annexed, you can say Oudh, Jhansi, Satara, Nagpur. Okay, in that region, in that states, they were, you can say, extracted the noble person, the educational person, as well as the administrative officers. Because the Britishers, they were always wanted to appointed a person among them. Okay, because they were wanted to make a dictatorship government in India. That's why they were, you can say, extract the person who were against the British rule in Satara, in Nagpur, in Jhansi, in many other states, princely state of India. Okay, so this was the political cause about social, religious, economic, immediate, political. Okay, these were the regions which were mostly responsible for what the Great Uprising of 1857. Okay, after you can say after these regions, we will discuss about, you can say, major events and centers of revolt. Okay, after these regions, they were, you can say, supported to Sepoy mutiny. The Sepoys, Indian Sepoys, they were started revolution, or you can say started revolt against the Britishers in the year of 1857. After that, we will discuss about some major events and the centers, or you can say places where the revolt was occurred. Okay. So after the regions, we will discuss about major events and center where, you can say, where the revolutions were occurred, or you can say born. So in this topics, we will discuss more about Mughals leaders joined in revolt, the leaders of uprising, about Hazrat Mahal, Nana Sahib and Lakshmi Bai. Okay, this person or these leaders, or you can say these rulers were took leadership in Sepoy mutiny because their states were annexed by the Britishers through doctrine of lapse. Okay, so mostly the Mughals, Bahadur Shah Zafar. Okay, Bahadur Shah Zafar, you can say, faced disrespect from the Britishers, and Bahadur Shah Zafar and his family was forced to, you can say, leave Red Fort. That's why what the Mughal leader, or the Mughal ruler Bahadur Shah Zafar joined in revolt, and after you can say the Mughal ruler Bahadur Shah Zafar joined in the revolt. This you can say this revolt or this war against the Britishers was spread all over India, many major cities in India. It was started from Delhi, because in Delhi, Bahadur Shah Zafar was took the leadership of Sepoy mutiny, and soon after the war, or you can say the revolt, was spread any matter or many major cities, many major you can say states of India. Okay, so the leaders of uprising means many leaders, they were took the charge of this revolution, or you can say revolt against the Britishers. Among them, what Hazrat Mahal, Nana Sahib, Rani Lakshmi Bai were the prominent leader who were took leadership what in the uprising of 1857. So let's you can say let's discuss about Hazrat Mahal, Nana Sahib and Rani Lakshmi Bai in brief manner. Okay, so Hazrat Mahal, the Begum of Oudh, led the revolt. Landlords, farmers and soldiers of Oudh supported the Begum. Maulvi Ahmadullah of Faridabad was the popular leader in Oudh. He organized rebellions and fought the British. About, you can say, 150,000 men died fighting the English in Oudh. Of them, over 1 lakh were civilians. So many common people, they were supported, or you can say they were fight against the Britishers. Among them, you can say approximately 50,000 people were died in that war in Oudh, and among them 50,000 you can say counted as them as sepoys, but 1 lakh people they were from you can say common category, and they were supported to Hazrat Mahal, the farmers, the peasants, okay, the you can say small businessmen, they were supported. Hazrat Mahal you can say was the Begum of Oudh, and under the leadership of Hazrat Mahal, the Sepoy mutiny was uprised in Awadh. Okay. After that, Nana Sahib led the revolt at Kanpur. Okay, a city. He was adopted son of the last Peshwa. He acknowledged Bahadur Shah as the emperor of India and declared himself to be his governor. Who? Nana Sahib. Tantia Tope led guerrilla operation on his behalf. Guerrilla operations means you can say the fighters who were you can say hiding in forest, and they were war against the opposites. Okay, this type of war called as guerrilla war. So Tantia Tope took the leadership of guerrilla operations or guerrilla war against the Britishers in you can say in forest areas, in vegetation areas. Okay. After that, Azimullah Khan was another subordinate of Nana Sahib to fight on his behalf. So this was the case of you can say Kanpur, where Tantia Tope, Nana Sahib, these two leaders were played you can say important role or prominent role on behalf of Bahadur Shah Jafar. Okay, in Awadh, in Nagpur, in Kanpur, in Jhansi. Okay, many Indian leaders, many Indian rulers who were you can say who states were annexed by the Britishers under the policies of doctrine of lapse, which was introduced by you can say Lord Dalhousie. They were took charge in that particular places, and they were supported the sepoys. They were supported by you can say supported by the common peoples, because they were fight for their rights. They were fight for the independence. Okay, that's why in Kanpur, in Nagpur, in Jhansi, okay, in Jhansi, Rani Lakshmi Bai took the leadership of Sepoy mutiny, and you can say she was a brave warrior. Okay, after his after her husband was shot out by the Britishers or dead by the Britishers, or you can say murdered by the Britishers. Okay, Rani Lakshmi Bai took the charge of Sepoy mutiny in Jhansi. So in Sepoy mutiny, these leaders were played a prominent role, and they were arose their head against the British government, and they were supported, or they were started you can say the first freedom struggle of India. So to repress this type of huge revolution, the Britishers persuaded the policy of unprecedented repression to quell the uprising. To repress the uprising, to repress the policies where the Britishers took strict policy or implemented very strict rules and regulations for repress the revolution. The British first of all captured Delhi, because from Delhi the revolt was started. That's why the Britishers targeted to Delhi, and they were captured Delhi had symbolic value. Yes, the Delhi has symbolic value. The Mughal emperor who was you can say settled down in Delhi and take the leadership of Sepoy mutiny from Delhi. That's why first of all you can say the Britishers captured Delhi, because Delhi had symbolic value. After that, the British found it hard to put down the rebellion. Reinforcements were brought in from England. Means many soldiers they were called up from England to repress the you can say rebellion in India. The government empowered military officers and ordinary Britons to try and punish Indians. The only punishment to be inflicted was death. Okay, the British had to fight protracted battles to re-establish their hold over the parts of northern India. So you can say the number of British soldiers, okay, the British government increased the number of British soldiers in his department in army field, and many soldiers they were brought up from England to India to, you can say, to repress the rebellion or the historic rebellion in India. Okay. After all, you can say that the uprising of 1857, which was, you can say, carried out by the major leaders of India as well as the Sepoy department of India, British Army. Okay, this was a failure. You can say this was a failure rebellion of our history, and many causes were responsible for the failure of the great uprising of 1857. Okay, let's discuss about the causes by which what the rebellion of 1857 was a failure, you can say failure event in Indian history. Okay, so the revolt could not succeed, or the you can say the revolt or rebellion faced failure because most of the Punjab, Rajputana and Kashmir remained peaceful. Okay, Punjab, Rajputana and Kashmir, from this area many brave soldiers were, you can say, emerged. But in the case of the rebellion of 1857, the Punjab, Rajputana and Kashmir remained peaceful. Okay, you can say no one leader took the leadership of the rebellion in Punjab, Kashmir and Rajputana. After that, most of the Indian rulers either stayed neutral or extended support to the British. So, in the uprising of 1857, many, you can say, many Indian states or princely state, they were supported to British government. Or you can say there was huge differences or disunity among the Indian rulers, among the Indian leaders. Many, you can say half of the leaders they were against the Britishers, and other half the members they were supported to the Britishers. Okay, so there was a disunity among the Indian ruler, among the Indian leaders. Okay, that's why the rebellion of 1857 got failure, or you can say faced failureness. Then big landlords, moneylenders and traders also supported the Britishers. By big landlords, moneylenders and traders, the Britishers were economically supported by them. That's why you can say there was an economic factor, okay, which was, you can say, also one of the most important cause for the failure of great uprising of 1857. Okay, then there was lack of able leadership. The local leaders didn't enjoy respect and command at the national level. Okay, the leaders were mostly belong from regional center or regional areas. Okay, so they didn't have the attention, you can say, or say didn't promoted them among the overall India. Okay, so that's why you can say that means the failure or main cause of failure of the great uprising of 1857, or you can say the Sepoy mutiny, was the lack of leadership. What? Lack of leadership. Then the British commanded superior military power. Indians were short of resources. Yes, Indians were short of resources, means Indian had, you can say, not much more weaponry to defend the British government or war against the British soldiers or British army. After that, nationalism had not emerged as a force. Even the modern educated class did not support. Okay, so you can say the idea of nationalism, that the citizens or the people of India should be think that they are the single citizen or they are the single Indian people, and try to create unity among the people. Okay, so this type of lack of ideologies, like you can say fraternity, or you can say brotherhood, after that liberty, rights, nationalism. Okay, that idea not much more you can say spread over Indian society. Okay, that's why the Indian people, they were not able to gain the idea like nationalism or love for the modern man. Okay, so many Indian people who were belong from rich class, they were not in didn't participated in the rebellion in Sepoy mutiny. That's why what you can say, this was one of the most important causes among the causes of failure of the Great Uprising of 1857. Okay, after the failure there were some results or consequences. Okay, let's discuss about some result of the Great Uprising of 1857, the first freedom struggle of India, that the British recaptured Delhi. Bahadur Shah was taken a prisoner and exiled to Rangoon. The royal princes were butchered. Nana Sahib escaped to Nepal. By the end of 1859, the British authority over India was re-established. Means the British were you can say succeed, or the British were succeed over Delhi, and they were you can say they were tested the benefit of their repression, and they were successfully repressed the rebellion of the people of 1857. The power to rule India was taken away from the East India Company. The British crown became the ruler. Ultimate power came to be enjoyed by the Parliament. The Viceroy emerged as the actual ruler. After 1857, the British government took the charge of leadership from East India Company. Okay, before 1857, you can say the British East India Company, the business company, was ruled over India. But after 1857, the British crown became the ruler, and they were appointed a viceroy, or the viceroy category, or you can say post, was emerged or established by the British Crown government, and the government was directly handled the every administrative field of India. Then artillery was put exclusively in the hands of the Europeans. Artillery means you can say weapons. The Indian army came to be organized on caste, community and regional basis. It aimed at dividing the Indias on these considerations. Okay, so the Britishers were played the gambling, like you can community differences, the religious differences and caste division. That's why they were you can say appointed the Indian people as a British soldiers on basis of caste, community and religions. Okay, there you can say the British aimed to create a huge differences among the Indian people on basis of caste, religion and community, or you can say in a single sentence you can say that they were succeed over Indian society to create a differences among Indian society. And this you can say this environment is you can say is feel in now in Indian society, that we are divided by the Britishers on basis of caste, religion and community. Okay, so there are many riots were held between Hindu and Muslim, then Sikh and Muslim. Okay, like Kashmiri Pandits and Muslim in Kashmir. So this type of you can say activity was started by the Britishers in India. After that, the British abandoned the policy of annexions and doctrine of lapse. Jamindar, princes and others, the British had adopted a reactionary policy. The British introduced the policy of divide and rule. Yes, they punished the Muslims severely. Subsequently, they extended preferential treatment to Muslims. These policies led to the growth of communalism. Means the idea of communalism was created by the Britishers. That's why by the action of the Britishers, okay, the Muslim people were thought about the behavior of Indian leaders also, and the prominent Muslim leader like Muhammad Ali Jinnah, okay, who you can say who decided to made a pattern from India and created a separate communalism based society or nation, and now that is Pakistan. Got it? Then the events of 1857 eroded the imprison of the invincibility of the British power. The revolt resulted in the birth and growth of nationalism. It enhanced what? Nationality. Okay. However, the Britishers were able to suppress the revolution or the you can say rebellion of 1857. But the revolution, you can say, was affected the Indian people, and the idea like nationalism after 1857, liberty, rights, and unity. This type of you can say ideologies were created among the heart and the you can say brand of Indian people. After that, later on you can say the Indian people or the Indian educationalists and also the Indian reformers, through the idea of nationalism, they were tried to form the Indian people in a single unit, and they were also succeed. And finally, after 1857, we got independent in 1947. After you can say after a long time of period, we were able to got independence in 1947 finally, and we were throughout the British government from India. So this is all about the chapter, the Great Uprising of 1857. Let's take a quick recall of this chapter. That in this chapter, okay, we came to know about what the causes, you can say the reasons behind the Great Uprising of 1857, like social cause, political cause, religious cause, economic cause, and immediate cause. After that, the many Indian leaders, they were also took leadership in the revolution, like Nana Sahib, then Hazrat Mahal, Rani Lakshmibai, in Kanpur, in Nagpur, in Jhansi, in many regions of India, they were started rebellion against the Britishers. Okay, after all, the Britishers were able to repress the rebellion, which you can say which was created by the sepoys and Indian leaders, and the Britishers took major steps or took strict laws policies. They were you can say called of the number of you can say English soldiers from the England, and they were able to you can say repress the rebellion in India. After that, we came to know about the causes which were mostly responsible for the failure of the Great Uprising of 1857 and the consequences and the result of 1857. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.